Write off Donald Trump at your peril. That is the only conclusion from a fascinating in-depth interview between the 45th President of the United States and our own political disruptor-in-chief, Nigel Farage. Not only did we get the clearest indication yet of Trump's intention to run as the Republican nominee versus either a failed Joe Biden, his catastrophic VP, Kamala Harris, or maybe someone entirely new in 2024, we also got an insight into the playbook that Trump will use to try and annihilate the Democrats after his slim COVID-related loss last year. Following the humiliating capitulation to the Taliban in Afghanistan and increasing isolationist tendencies, America's standing is at the lowest internationally that it's ever been, Trump says. And it's surely hard to argue with that.
What's going on in Afghanistan with the withdrawal, which was, I think, the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country.
I think that was Trump at his best, although I also loved his balls to continue a campaign to rebrand COVID-19 as the China virus, which should be completely uncontroversial, in my opinion, the more we learn about the origins of this damn thing and the monumental cover-up by the Chinese Communist Party.
Well, they use COVID, or the China virus, as I call it.
I also loudly cheered when Trump defended the legacy of the very handsome, he said, very brave, Nigel said, Winston Churchill, who the woke mob want to denigrate as a racist and whose bust was ridiculously removed from the White House by Obama.
Why would you do that with Winston Churchill, and you're trying to get along with your country, and you send, it's such a token, but such an important token. No, I had it back for my entire time. It was there. I looked. He was a very handsome man.
And I couldn't have agreed more when Trump attacked the extremist organizations being given a free pass by politicians and the mainstream media, given they were formed on the revolting basis of killing the police.
You go back to their original founding and what they were saying, kill the police. What they're saying is kill the police.
I know.
And that becomes mainstream? Not good.
But it is fair to say that alongside the good, the bad and the ugly were also on display too. Nigel was rebuffed when he hinted to the Donald that continuing to campaign on his belief the 2020 election was rigged could actually hurt the Republicans at the polls over the next few years if it causes some loyal supporters to lose faith with the American voting system.
Message to look forward and try and make sure that weakness in the system can't exist again.
I think it's both. I think it has to be both. So, you know, looking back is okay. You have to look both ways, but you can't forget about what happened.
There were a number that perhaps didn't go out to vote who would have done because they felt disgusted with the whole system.
I firmly believe Trump can be president again if he wants to be. The buyer's remorse from independents who backed Sleepy Joe and got a comatose president with a completely incompetent joke of a deputy is extreme. Trump is dramatically ahead of Biden, according to a string of polls in virtually all of the crucial swing states that determine who will become the next leader of the free world. And he's targeting new political attack lines based on inflation and the cost of living, thanks to the soaring price of oil since he left the presidency.
We had so much oil, we didn't know what to do with it. A gallon of gasoline was $1.87 when I left. Now it's going to be $7.50 in California. But the inflation is at a level maybe that we haven't seen for, I guess, 40, 50 years.
Unlike Boris Johnson, who he correctly pointed out has got a little more on the Liberal side since the election of Biden, Trump will not capitulate to the Greta Thunbergs of the world and the Green mob.
Carbon taxes that they want to put on countries and people and companies, I think it's ridiculous. We have resources in the U.S. that are incredible. And the enemy is making us feel badly about it and taking it away.
But it's in those candid and unexpected moments where I think you really get to see if a leader is in touch with his base, with his voters, with his people. And it was when Nigel asked about Harry and Meghan that Trump gave an answer that will be cheered by tens of millions of folk around the world, while horrifying the metropolitan elite and mainstream media who adore the awful woke warriors.
I think Harry has been used horribly. I think someday he will regret it. You know, a lot of people are saying I'm very good at the prediction business. I think someday he will regret it. He probably does already. I think she's very disrespectful to the royal family, but maybe most importantly to the Queen. And I just, from day one, I never got it. I never got it. I see her, I listen to her. She's trying to do things that I think are inappropriate, very inappropriate. But I think Harry's been used and been used terribly. It's ruined his relationship with his family.
Completely.
And it's really, really, I think it hurts the Queen.
No other international leader, past or present, would dare utter such words. But Trump is completely right. I think Harry has been played by Meghan. He will end up regretting it. His relationship with his family is destroyed thanks to his manipulative wife. And both of these chances have horribly disrespected the Queen, casting a shadow over her twilight years. Come on, admit it. However you feel about some of the excesses of Trump, it feels great to have a leader who will always say whatever he's thinking and whatever he's feeling, to hell with the consequences.